winning a major title is nothing bigger.
That's ridiculous! This is crazy. There goes one pop a second and he's going to go for third and it's now. That is absurd. They go charging into the blender. Going to wreck the entire team. They are fired up. All of Meister is gone. That should be impossible and an incredible performance.
Welcome to the last day in the G Fuel E-League Arena. On your screen is Magic's boy from North. He's got a book of evil plans. He's going to need it if the Danes are to win here because they're taking on the most electrifying man in esports. It is Shots from G2 Esports. Duncan thinks they're going to surprise. They hope so too as they get in the huddle. So welcome. This is the last day in the studio, as we said. It's going to be epic because hearts are going to be broken, legends are going to be made, and we're going to find out what team's going to be joining us over in the Fox Theatre. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. Joining me on the desk as always, it's Moses and Thorin. How are you doing, guys? You must be excited for today.
Yeah, I mean, this is the day where it all gets figured out. So that's sick. The end of the group stage.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the interesting things about the group stage so far is we've had some upsets. There haven't actually been that many strong teams, you know? I mean, only really Navi's shown fantastic form. First Pro barely got out of the group, even though they won 3-0. So I think actually at the moment, it just shows how up in the air this entire major is. Like, I don't think anyone's come out of this group stage feeling like, yeah, we're definitely going to win the major.
Yeah, hugely competitive. Let's take a look at the standings. And as Duncan alludes to, there's some big names up there in the 3-0. It's Navi and Virtus Pro. Right down in the doldrums. Flipside and Hellraisers are out, but in the melange in the middle, it could really go anywhere. We have no idea. I mean, we've been making these predictions, plenty of upsets, all sorts of stuff getting involved. We want you to get involved in social media as well. Let us know what you think is going to happen today. And there you can see, obviously, G2. They're going to be in the huddle, and that's going to be our first game of the day. Now, just a reminder, Duncan, about the format, just in case people aren't au fait with the Swiss system. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so obviously at the outset you had to get 3 to get through, you had to lose 3 to be eliminated. So at the moment we've got teams that have played 3 games and they've either won 2 or they've lost 2. So the teams that have won 2 playing each other are going to determine who goes through. Teams that have lost 2 playing each other, half of them are going to go out of the competition. Everyone's playing a single map, but against an opponent they have not yet played.
And that's a key detail there to remember, of course.
Yeah.
And the winners headed to the Fox Theatre, as I said. Now let's move on to the schedule. And I said there's some great games coming up for you today, starting with that North versus G2 Esports. We then move into Envious versus Fnatic in the 2-1s. Mouse Sports versus Team Liquid. That's kind of the battle of the bads. I have no idea how that's going to go either. That's way up in the open. And then Godsent versus Optic. A lot of people saying Optic really unlucky to be down there. Luck doesn't matter, though. You've got to win those games. SK Gaming versus Astralis should be an absolute cracker. Then Gambit versus FaZe Clan. And then matches 7 to 9. Obviously, we've got to take a redraw to get to the final teams that are going to be joining us over there. And make sure you take a look at eleague.com for all the supplementary material. Duncan's been writing some stuff over there. I've been writing some stuff over there. And of course, there's the schedule and the social media tracker, which Duncan, I think, is still at the top.
And the E-League prediction dog, which is still...
Yeah, and then the E-League prediction dog. Get that dog to E-League. Yeah. Get him to the major. That's what everyone is saying. Anyway, we are going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get right into the action. North versus G2. One of these teams is going to be heartbroken. Make sure you join us.
one of the major memories I have is when we played in DreamHack Winter 2014 and we did a boost against LELC.
And you can spot them coming out of the screen door as well. He's here. He sees them down there. Straight headshot. They have no idea.
They've come up with something new before the major that nobody else knew about yet.
Smith's looking confused and dazed, and there's going to be a follow-up headshot on Buster. You got to be kidding me.
People were not sure if it was allowed. It was like at the edge. It was a gray area, but it was still really impressive.
We did our comeback from 12-3 to 16-14, I believe.
The end is near. They pull up an ace out the sleeve, and they do it for just every single round they're on out.
That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of drama afterwards. It was fun.
Yes, so that is the major moment as presented by Dell, and I'll tell you, that was a major moment indeed. Olaf saying it's a lot of fun. I don't think the drama was fun, and the Room on Fire guys did a really awesome long documentary about it, so Moses, I'll just pick your brains quickly about that.
Yeah, I mean,
would you call it fun?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly fun to watch to go back and watch it. But Olaf definitely thinking it's fun just sitting up on that perch. I mean, he was just unstoppable in that kind of a situation. So yeah, that was cool. All the drama around it. That kind of came out was less fun, but the Fnatic guys, what a comeback that was. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you want to see in a Counter-Strike match in a major, come out, all that preparation. Those are the kind of things that you want to see here.
Well, we're going to see if we're going to see something like that now, because Duncan, here's North. What's going on with them?
Yeah, they're a team kind of in disarray, but I actually think they're one of the teams that's really benefited from the Swiss system in as much as if this was a normal group stage, maybe they'd be out already. If they had to play 2 days, maybe they'd just gone out in last place. But I think because they do have quality in the team, you still feel like with each day's reset, they could get back to that really good level of having those star players and the very high, consistent level of skill. They've obviously got good tactics, they've got a good map pool, so I still think this is a team where just by surviving, they've still got it all to play for. They could still be in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely, and they've got a phenomenally talented roster. Bit disconcerting when they're struggling against Hellraisers, though, Chase.
Yeah, that was really uncomfortable, especially because this is a team that is supposed to have this kind of system that MSL has put in place that makes them more consistent. But I mean, to be fair, they have been pretty consistent, but it's been bad placings. As much as this team looks great on paper, they haven't gotten it done since Epicenter in October.
And staying with you, Jason, we're talking about how North could have done better. I think G2 could have done better as well if it wasn't for a few choice vetoes.
Yeah, I agree that this is an event where they could have done better. And actually, I mean, even if you just look at the score from yesterday against Astralis, which is a pretty big stomping on Train, this is a team that played much better, that actually put themselves in very good scenarios. And if it wasn't for the heroics of Glaive, you know, they might not have won, but this would have been a much closer situation. So it's hard to be too critical of that Train match, but regardless, this team does at times look disorganized. They have the talent. It's just sometimes something just collapses in the mid-round.
Yeah, so we've talking a lot about crazy vetoes over the course of this event. Duncan, are we going to see another one here?
Well, that's the interesting thing, because I think we are actually. I mean, G2, we've shown that they're willing to play Nuke. Well, North definitely love a bit of Nuke, so they will not be banning that out. Cash is an obvious ban here. North might even go ahead and ban Dust 2 at some point. The real question is, will G2 ban out Overpass? Because I'm worried that they're going to let through a world where we have Cobble and Nuke as the maps that are available now. So they banned out Cobble, that's good.
Why is North ban Train?
They always ban Train and Cash, basically, if it's available. So, okay, here we go. Nuke was available, and it's gone to Overpass.
Right.
Now, that is actually better, in as much as of the two, I'd prefer Overpass for them. I think it's still a good map for North, though. They certainly like it. But that's the problem for the guys from G2, is they've been willing to play people on maps that probably put them at a disadvantage from the outset.
Yeah, Jason, your reaction?
I like this Overpass pick for G2. I think this is something that can let them shine. I think they're actually sneakily pretty good on this map, and they've had some good results on it. So this is where you have guys like Shox who are going to be able to create a lot of opportunities for his teammates.
Well, just before we get into our predictions, earlier today, our interviewer Chris Puckett did speak to Shox.
Shox, today, the last day of groups, and you find yourselves once again in a position where you could be eliminated. You could also win 2 more games and make it all the way. What pressure are you feeling right now?
A lot, of course. I mean, we all want to pass the groups at the major. It's like the main goal, I guess, and the most difficult thing to achieve. So we'll definitely have a lot of pressure, but I think they will have, I think North will have more than us, because they are the favorites here, more than us. So we will have to play our card of underdogs, I would say.
Now, we've seen North struggle, especially earlier on in the tournament. Do you think they're at the same form that we saw at the end of 2016?
I don't know. I just think that they put way too much pressure on their shoulders coming up to the majors, saying things like they're gonna win it or like they feel really prepared, and they did a lot of interviews, and I don't think they really have the time to more focus on themselves and on their game. That's why they did some good results like coming up to the last year of 2016. So I don't know, but still they got really huge individual players and players like Config, who normally do a lot of work, still didn't show up here at the major. And if he show up against us, then it's going to be way harder.
Well, I know since you've joined G2, the team has never been able to make it out of groups play. We saw what happened at the last event back in Cologne. On Twitter, everyone's saying we hope to see G2 in Fox Arena. Do you guys think you'll be able to make it to the theater?
I won't say anything about this. I just want to be really focused on this game, and after we will be 2-2 and it will be like the game of the death, So, of course, I want to be there, but I don't want to see myself go too much further, step by step, and we'll see.
Well, there we go. Well, I know a lot of people are cheering for you online. I'll be cheering for you as well. Best of luck.
Right then, chaps, let's get some predictions on the go. We're about to go into the game.
Packet cheering against North. Pretty bold, must say.
Yeah, right. So I'll start with you then, Duncan, since you've opened your mouth.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, coming into the tournament, I thought G2 was a team that had a real chance to surprise. I mean, they actually almost beat Virtus Pro on Nuke. They really could be in a better position. Unfortunately, I actually do think that North is going to, despite all the problems they had earlier in the tournament, I think they're going to come through in this one. I think G2 is going to be going out.
Okay. Jason?
What did you predict on Twitter? Is that your Twitter prediction as well?
I also predicted.
I'm going to take G2 to win this one, actually.
All right, we keep that desk divided. Thanks very much, gentlemen. And now we're going to throw you over to the glutton for punishment, Anders. He's with Semler.
Yes, and is it because I'm with Semler, or is it because I'm trying to figure out Danish Counter-Strike? I'm not sure which it is, but I appreciate it nonetheless, Richard. Yes, we are going to head into this one. Obviously, you have to be on the French side.
I'm the one who's suffering here, Anders. I mean, you're backing Astralis, Danish team, obviously Danish Hope, and you've put all of your horses behind them, but I've got back-to-back French games here. One of them where G2 could potentially be going out of the tournament. Happened at Cologne. They went out in the group stages. Not again.
You know what? I will say this, Summer. I think we can find some synergy, actually, between the French and the Danish team, because both of them have a tremendous amount of talent, and they don't seem to be doing really anything with it. Now, that could change this major, but up until this point, it's been just a bit touch and go. Now, it's going to be into the game here. It's on Overpass. It is day 4 of the group stage, so this is where everything gets decided, and a great start for Config. Going to be taking down Shox, who is a massive pistol player for G2, so that's a very fine start. And I think he spotted more people than just Shox, so they should know that there's a big push coming in, especially now. Even if Config goes down, this is a great trade for North. They're going to take this every day of the week. Config picking up one more kill, and he's down the ladder. He goes up again. Why are you doing that? He's going to be dropped by Scream, but still... great play.
Two-man advantage right now, and this is a nightmare. All of the time that it's going to cost G2 to get over here towards this bomb site to get the defuse in with no kit, it's almost sealed up already. North, all they have to do is sit here and hold angles, and MSL, he's even going to commit the Molotov right into Monster. That blocks off 2 players, and that's it. MSL, he's the man making it happen right now for North. This is an impossible situation now for G2.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, what are you supposed to do after this? 2 versus 4 Rubino. I'll pick up a kill on Cajun next, and the North team erupting from round 1. That's how you know they're fired up.
I love watching Magisk. Like, we got to get him again, because he just, like, pumped his... He was just like, yeah! Like, they'd already won the major, right? I was like, okay.
I have to... So I'm sure we can get that on camera at one point. I'm not sure he's realizing he's doing that. I feel like that's just a sort of, a tick of his. He just does it with his arms up in the air.
What I'm concerned about, though, Anders, I mean, you brought this up yesterday, right, when we watched G2, when we casted G2, where you put a lot of attention on Shoxy. And
yeah,
coming into this match, it does feel like, again, Shoxy is going to be feeling like he's the one who needs to force things. The fact that he was up top mid alone, he's trying to go for those confidence plays where he's just going to take headshots, win duels, and carry his team. And we've seen that actually hurt his